Welcome back to the channel, you guys. I hope you're having a great day today. For this week's video, we are going to take our basic pentatonic scale, morph it into the natural minor scale, which is really easy to do and sounds absolutely amazing. Now for this lesson, I'm going to assume that you guys know your basic pentatonic scale. If you don't, check out the links in the video description below. I've got a bunch of resources to help you guys learn your pentatonic scales, easy licks that you can do, blues licks, all sorts of different things. Check out those resources in the video description below. All right, so let's talk natural minor scale. Now when I was learning piano, they taught me the minor melodic, the minor harmonic, but never the straight natural minor, which was really interesting because as soon as I transferred to guitar, I realized this is the scale I use to solo like 90% of the time. So this is a really important scale and one that every guitarist should know. So what we're going to do today is show you guys how it overlays over top of your pentatonic. So it's actually quite easy. If you know your pentatonic, we're just going to add a few extra notes that really will kind of flip that scale on its head and give you guys some really interesting things to play. And then we're going to go through 3 licks that I love to play off this scale. So for today's lesson, we're going to be using the very cool Dan Electro 64 plugged into the Line 6 Helix. All right, now let's start by running our basic pentatonic scale. We're going to start on 5th fret, which is our A minor. Tab will be on the screen. Here we go. So that's the basic scale that many of us know and love. Super easy to play, only 2 notes per string, and it's really great for blues and rock licks. So really versatile, fun scale. So obviously jamming, soloing, and improvising on the minor pentatonic is a ton of fun. But what we want to do is overlay our natural minor. So the natural minor has the flat 3rd, the flat 6, and the flat 7. So a few extra notes than the minor pentatonic. Let's see what that looks like. Now, if you guys want a paper copy of all 5 forms of the natural minor scale along with the pentatonic, I will make those available on my Patreon page. All right, so let's check out our natural minor scale. Now, as you guys can see, we've got 3 notes per string, which is a pretty big deal. That's an extra note per string over top of the pentatonic, which, as I mentioned, is just 2 notes per string. Right? And then what we're going to do is add our natural minor, so all the in-between notes. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Now I've added an extra note on 4th string. So normally your natural minor scale would not have a chromatic movement on 4th string, but I added in to keep 3 notes per string. I find it's a great extra tone. It's just the flat 7 to the major 7 to the root, like that. So normally the pure natural minor scale would skip that note, just like that. But I find it's fun to add in, so keeps the pattern going, which makes it a great exercise as well. Okay, so let's go through 3 of my favorite licks that use this natural minor scale. And as I mentioned previously, this is what I use to solo if I'm soloing in a minor key like 90% of the time, unless I'm using some more exotic mode or something like that. So switching between the minor pentatonic and the natural minor is super easy to do. So let's start with a very simple lick. So we're going to start on E on our 2nd string, 5th fret, and we're going to use the 2nd scale degree. So normally we wouldn't have that on a pentatonic. We would just have our A and C. But now we get our A, B, C, the 2nd scale degree. Which makes things more interesting. So we're going to start with the basic back and forth. And we're going to use that 2nd scale degree to bend up to our minor third, that's C. Okay, so we're starting on our E and we go E, A, back to E. So you guys can try that a few times, just back and forth between your E and your A and then up to your B. And then we're going to take that G and bend it up to our root. So there you go. So that's a lick I use all the time, just constantly. And of course you can articulate the ending however you want to, but just that little beginning. Really cool natural minor lick. Now the second lick that I use all the time off the natural minor scale is just a passage from the third string to the second string to the first string, no alterations, straight scale. And it sounds like this. Okay, you guys have probably heard me play that a ton of times on the channel, but use alternate picking with your right hand. That'll make it faster, and then I just double up each string. Okay, and you can move it up. Oftentimes I'll go up to 12th fret E. So really cool lick. Great finger exercise too, because you get to use your first, your second, and your fourth, and then you have to switch to your first and your third and your fourth. So really great for, building up speed and strength in your hand. So one of my go-to licks, really cool. Now the third lick that is an absolute go-to lick for me off the natural minor scale is using my semitones. I'll play the higher note and then bend up to that same note using the semitones. And thankfully on the natural minor scale, they are everywhere. So normally on our first string, we just have the A and the C, right? But on the natural minor, we get the B. So what I'm going to do is play my C and then use the B to bend up to a C and release it. So that concept. And so you can do that off for sure your first three strings. Sounds really cool. So we'll use that, the C. Same thing on second string where our semitones are the E and the F note. So. And then on third string, same thing, we shift down. So really great for ballads, nice melodic, kind of melancholy lick. Okay, so those are three of my favorite licks. All right, next up, let's do something a little fun. What I'm going to do is a short 1-minute jam, and I'm going to be switching between my straight pentatonic scale and the natural minor scale that overlays over top of it. So I'm just going to stick right around 5th fret here in form number 1. So it should be interesting. Let's take a listen. So hopefully that shows you guys how easy it is to switch from your straight pentatonic scale to your natural minor without missing a beat. And like I said before, this is how I solo like 90% of the time unless I need something a little bit more exotic. So super useful and practical stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Check out all the links in the video description below. If you want the paper copies, head over to my Patreon page. Other than that, have an awesome week, you guys. Take care.